Alison Hamilton, the head of Penobscot Christian School, and I just wanted to answer a few of our most frequently asked questions about admission and coming to Penobscot Christian. So the first question you're probably going to ask me is, what is a classical Christian school? Why is that different? Well, the classical model of education goes back to many generations ago when things were founded on the way that students learn. So basically in the grammar school, in the early years, they learn by lots of facts. They learn to memorize, they learn to recite, they learn to sing, they learn lots of things with singing. And this is a way that they solidify all the facts as they're learning. And then as they get a little bit older and move into their middle school years or the logic school, then they start to reason, they start to question, they start to wonder why. And so they learn more detail and they learn to ask those questions and find the answers. And then in their older years, in their rhetoric years, the idea is that they've got this solid foundation of facts and information, but then they need to learn how to use that, how to form their own opinions, how to be able to articulate what they believe and why, and build on that solid foundation. So classical education follows this model of learning. The classical model is based on three foundational principles. It is based on truth. And obviously we're a Bible-based school. We teach Bible every day. We have chapel. All of our school lessons are taught from a biblical perspective. So we're building our children's biblical worldview and their trust and faith in the Lord. And then it's based on virtue. So obviously we teach how to behave in a biblical way and how to also appreciate the beauty of the creation that we have and all that God has given us. So that's what makes the classical model a little different. Most of the people say, can anybody attend your Christian school? Well, unfortunately, the answer to that is not exactly no. We do have, what makes us different from all the other Christian schools is that we have closed enrollment. So all of our students and all of our staff are all members of a local Bible-believing congregation. And as part of the application, you actually have to have a pastor's reference. So that just reflects that you are a regular attender with your family. And so the reason for that is because we're partnering with you to educate your child, but to also educate your child with a very solid Bible-based Christian faith. And so that's why that's a specific requirement that we have. Another question, how do we apply? You can find all of our application forms on our website, penobscotchristian.org. If you are, there are three different types of applications. There's a preschool application for the little ones. There's a grammar and logic school application. And then if you are applying to our high school, there is a separate rhetoric application which has a portion of it that the student themselves has to complete, and the student has an interview with me, because we strongly believe that by the time they're in high school they have goals of their own and they should be making decisions for themselves too, and we want them to be actively part of the process. Another question we have just about our day-to-day school, how long are the school days? Well, our lower school operates from 8:10 in the morning to 2:45 in the afternoon, and then we offer aftercare from 3 to 5 every day. And our upper school operates from 7:55 to 2:55 every day. Obviously, one of the main questions everybody needs to know is how much does it actually cost to attend Penobscot Christian School, and that's not actually an easy question to answer, because depending on the grade level and depending on the number of children, and we also offer ministers discounts. So basically the best way to find the answer to that question is check out our website, penobscotchristian.org, or you can call me directly, 207-947-2704, ask for Alison, and or email me, headmaster@penobscotchristian.org, and depending on the grade levels and the ages of your children, we can give you exact figures. Another question that often gets asked is if I'm coming from homeschooling or I'm coming from a different school, is there a test that has to be taken? How do we know exactly what level the student will be at? Do we have specific requirements? What we always do is, if they're a kindergarten or a very young learner, we do a small test with the teacher, usually over the summer prior to enrollment in the fall, and that usually basically just tests basic skills, reading, math, If they're an older student and they've been involved in regular testing through the system, so some kind of standardised testing, then we just look at those scores. Or we again do the same thing where some of the teachers meet with the students and just give them very basic grade level tests just to make sure that they're at the academic level that is needed. As a classical Christian school, we do have a high academic standard, and we need to make sure that the student is going to be able to work at that level. We don't want them to be in the wrong grade level. So many people have students that are active and sporty, and we really have a great sports program here at Penobscot Christian. If we have in the fall, we have soccer for 4th through 12th grade as part of the local school leagues, small school leagues. We also have we have had in the past cross country, and we were hoping to have cross country again in the fall. For our winter sports season, we have basketball. We have we have a B team for our 4th graders and 5th graders that are learning the skills, and then we have middle school and high school basketball teams. Our girls basketball team, high school basketball team this year won the championship, so we were all very excited and very proud of them for that. We also have tried spring sports. We had a softball club that was supposed to meet this year, but unfortunately because of the COVID restrictions we weren't able to. We also associate with other schools, so if there's a student, particularly high school, that wants to do a particular sport but we're not big enough to offer a whole team, we have made arrangements with other schools. We have had swimmers swim with John Bapst. They swam for PCS but they trained with Bapst. We have a cross-country runner that ran for Herman. We've had football with Bapst. So we do make arrangements, so if students have a particular sport that they're interested in, we work out ways to make that happen.